Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the L.O.V. Legacy Hour chat. My name is Luis Mario. I'm the founder and CEO of the DJ and Artist Hall of Fame. Every Saturday and Sunday at 3 p.m., I bring this show to you to bring some interesting people, friends, and wonderful, wonderful stories for all of you. The L.O.V. is the message Legacy Hour chat was created to get to know each other and to share with our friends and followers stories that you won't find in books, the relationships and history that we have with each other. And those, hold on a second, from the inception of our dance music culture. These are stories among friends, and we invite you to listen and enjoy what these iconic, influential individuals have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've been looking forward to this day because this gentleman I respect and I know of him for quite some time. As a matter of fact, I follow him on Facebook because his knowledge of music, and it takes me back to the days of my time, of my early days, and he's my contemporary as well. And his name is Humberto Fleites. Humberto is from Cuba, and he is with us this afternoon. So let's welcome him right now. Humberto, good afternoon. How are you, my friend?
Very good. Thank you for inviting me to this
Hey,
chat.
it's my pleasure, my brother. It's really my pleasure. Like I said before, I have been following you because you and I have this similar taste in music, basically because rock and roll is basically our first love, let's call it, our rock and roll. And like what I like to say about Humberto when he left Cuba on August 29th, 1967, and then he moved to Puerto Rico in June 1969. He played drums, timbales, as you can see behind him right now. So he joined a group of friends from the same neighborhood and formed a group named Gitano. Yeah, man. And they played stuff like, in those days, I can totally dig it, man. Santana, Grand Funk, and all the contemporary rock songs of the day. Man, I love this because this is how people started back in the with groups and playing some music from those days and in their garages and stuff like that. But in the summer of 1971, the lead singer of the group, Rene Lozada, spent the summer in New York and visited the famous club, well, my home, the place that I used to be there practically 24/7, the sanctuary of all places. When he returned he took Humberto to a discotheque, and in San Juan, he didn't like it. He didn't care too much because he was used to the live music and rock music. That's when I totally understand that. Humberto, I'm going to stop there for a moment because I want you to start. But before that, because I want the world to really get to know you very well. You have so many stories, I'm sure, and you are a professional. You're an architect of all things. That's magnificent. And from DJ to architect, that is amazing. Some of us can even build a house of cards. Never mind that. But Humberto, take us back into time, back when the people that existed were troglodytes, cavemen, cave women, the Arnold. You know what I'm saying? So take us back, please, and go ahead.
So, where do you want me to start?
Well, start before 1971. I know that you left, 1969, because you left Cuba on August 29, 1967.
Mm.
So, how was your childhood in those
Yes,
days? I mean,
I was born in Santa Clara, Cuba. Santa Clara is in the middle of Cuba, in the center of Cuba. And I was a very quiet guy over there. I my family is very Catholic, so I used to be monaguillo and very
Wow.
quiet, like any kids. But I always liked drums because when I was 13 years old, 14, I had a good friend, Joaquin Zaragoza. He was a great drummer, so I used to go to his house and play drums over there and start playing my drums. So when we left Cuba in 1967, we came to what was called Los Vuelos de la Libertad, the Freedom Flights. So
Okay.
we came, I was going, my father was going to send me to Spain, but for some reason he used to call telegrama. It's a paper that you used to receive, so you were ready to get out. But we never, I never received the telegrama, so we came, the whole family. So we came all together in 1967, August 1967. Then I came to Miami, no English at all. We stayed here for about year and a half, and then my father, who used to have a shoe store, before Fidel Castro, his partner from Santa Clara, they invite him to go to Puerto Rico, so the whole family moved to Puerto Rico around June 1969.
Okay.
Because I like drums, I used to live in a neighborhood in Puerto Rico that the name was Muñoz Rivera in Guaynabo, and I had many friends, Bol on the guitar, Rene the lead singer, Carl on the bass, and probably the very good musician, Martin Nieves, who is a very good musician, still play piano. Has been a director for many musicians, including Iris Chacon
Uh,
in Puerto Rico.
it is Chacon. Yeah,
And
I
so,
remember it is Chacon. You know the big bottom, the big bottom.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, who can forget that?
He's still in music. We put a group together. We used to call it agrupación.
Uh huh.
So we put a group together. So we used to play music, like you say, Santana, Gramophone, some Led Zeppelin,
I
Beatles,
love it.
and all that music. And I love rock.
Yeah.
Even I come from Cuba, I started listening to Latin music, really, and Cuban music in Puerto Rico.
Right.
Later in my life, because I like salsa, but
Uh huh.
we used to play rock in those days. So in 1971, I came to Miami in the summer of 1971, and I stayed in Miami for a month. For this, my friend Rene, he went to New York, and he went to the club, and so he went to the club. He went to the discotheque for the first time. So a santuario, the santuario, he
The
called it
sanctuary.
santuario when he came. So
Yeah, yeah. And
he
this,
came,
yeah, this is the sanctuary was the birth.
yeah,
That's the time where it's a matter of fact. This is what I look like. I don't know if you can see it, but this is actually me back in 1969. I don't know if you can see that right now, but that was my beginnings. I don't know if you can see that in the you'll be able to see. There's a little delay, but you what that was El Flaco, El Flaco. That was my nickname back in
yeah,
the
I see
back
the
in the
picture. Yes.
the
so
Flaco.
so so when he came back, he changed his dress. He used to dress different. So he started dressing with different clothes.
Right, right.
And so we said, let's go to Old San Juan because in those days we had in Old San Juan, 1971, there was Rachi, a club, a discotheque, Rachi in Old San Juan, another discotheque, Rachi in Isla Verde.
Right.
And so we went there and I heard the music, all those songs that you never hear in any radio station anywhere.
Yeah.
So I came the first week. At the beginning, I didn't like it because I didn't understand how come people come to dance
Yeah, is that right?
and we not like music. But we keep going because and then uh, like every week I used to go and listen to the music. Don't bring back memories.
Oh,
Music for Gong Gong. Those early 70s Isley Brothers, uh, uh, all those early 71,
No,
because I was going
I,
every week. When I
I,
start going every week, I start listening all the new music that
yeah,
was coming.
I know exactly because like I say, I follow you on Facebook, and you are one of those people that posts all of these wonderful things that I sometimes I go like, damn. I mean, not too many people can remember things like that, and these are music that really shaped our industry, the future of the industry, the music industry, and the beginnings of house music, basically. And a lot of people don't know that. They think that house music was created in Chicago in the 90s. No. Please take a listen to, Melting Pot. Take a listen to Sultana, Titanic, and all of that kind of stuff. But that's one of the things that I kind of as I can't wait to talk to Humberto because there's so many things. And so when in 1970, after the sanctuary, you went back to El San Juan and Isla Verde, that I know I knew I got to be in Isla Verde for a little while though, just a few months, and I opened a club called El Jardín, the Le Jardin, and they killed the owner. They killed the owner. They found the owner dead in the freaking bathroom, man. Yeah, man, that's serious stuff. I mean, back in those days. So anyway, you play at a play called Rachids. I don't know if how to pronounce that.
Yeah, later, before coming back, moving to Miami, because at the beginning you start collecting music. So I used to go almost every week to a place called El Disco de Oro. That was a record store
That
in
nobody told me about. Nobody
Old
told me about that. Yeah.
San Juan. So I used to go to almost every week to get the new records, and that's the way I start my collection. So I start collecting records and records. Back in 1973, I had a chance to play in covering for other people, no, in the discotheque called Rachid of Isla Verde.
Oh, you love it.
In those days it was so difficult because they had no speed control, no, they don't even have headphone.
Oh,
So
is that right? Oh, wow.
when
Ah,
if you didn't mix like that, it was a button that you put to the right or to the left.
gotcha.
So that was
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, people didn't know. I mean, as long it was just continuous music, but people were like impressed. Wow, this is not. There's not stopping. Wonderful stuff. Yeah,
it was they had no mix. Yeah, so you
yeah,
move here and you move to the other side. So very rustic.
yeah.
But in the summer of 1973, I came to Miami, and my family stayed in Puerto Rico, and I came here to study architecture. And then when I got here, I bring my collection, my record collection. So I went through so many different places here to apply to be a DJ
Right,
in
right.
Miami.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was able to play in a discotheque. The
Yeah.
name was the Mix 2 on 79th Street. The DJ over there in the summer of 1973 was George Mencio, probably the best DJ, one of the best DJ in those days in Miami. He was very good. Then he had mixer and the headphone and everything
Uh huh.
over there.
Yeah.
So in those days, the most important discotheque that I remember in the summer of 1973 was the Mix 2 on 79th Street, Stonewall on Miami Beach,
Okay.
and there was a few gay clubs like Ambassadors and many others more.
Yeah.
But basically, the most famous was Stonewall and the Mix 2.
Well, originally the clubs, the underground clubs, way
Yeah,
before the
yeah,
mainstream took over. The main it was gay. They were all gay clubs, including in New York City, the Sanctuary, the Haven, the original Lamplight, and including the Jungle and all of those clubs in New York City. Underground was just underground. It was gay, 99% gay, and then the mainstream clubs are starting to open up and let's call it for regular people, no, but we hanged out in amongst everybody, black, white, Hispanic, Italian, gay, straight, ugly, and beautiful people. The music was always in control. The music was what attracted us, and we understood what it was all about. It's an amazing thing. But Miami was getting their act together, in the mid 70s, 73, 74, 75, was getting, for what I understand, as I talked to a lot of people, the more, but just very few people actually tell us the real deal, the real stories, as what you were telling me, because you definitely have a tremendous, how can I say, value to this or industry. But yeah, man. So what happens? Tell me on those early days when you started playing with a headphone.
Yeah,
How do you do?
the same as Puerto Rico. They have only one place to buy records, Disco de Oro. Then in Miami was the same problem. There was only one place on 79th Street in an old shopping center that is not there anymore. I forgot the name of the place.
Yeah.
And they used to sell those records in that place over there. And I remember the owner, he had long hair. I forgot his name. So I used to go. I used to go to all the stores on Liberty City, record store in Liberty City
Yeah.
here in the black neighborhood. And I used to go there and search for all the 45. I used to
Yeah.
find some. I remember getting like 3 or 4 copies of Don't Be Bad
Yeah.
Memories. On Sync by Lincoln, uh,
Yeah.
One Night Affairs.
Yeah. Of course.
Every time I see a record, I just got it.
Well,
I
who
used
who
to
actually who actually gave you search for them, because that was the instinct that a DJ had. I have to tell people about this because we went to the stores and we went through the records, but we had that instinct. And in those days, they didn't let you listen to the song. You just went by the label, the artist. You went to certain, so you just took chances at times.
yes,
You
that's
took a
true. Yeah.
chance and bought, buy these 45s and played them. Absolutely, brother. I mean, that is just the DJ became, this is before record pools.
Yeah,
And
before
the record
yeah,
pools got the DJ. That was the first step, I think, where the DJs got a little lazy because they knew that they didn't have to walk and go to get the product, as we called it, onto the record labels and go there. But some of us did, even though we were on the record pools. We went to the because we developed a relationship with the promoter, the record promoter.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
then we went, and then we had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 copies of that, and if not, whatever, you know, and that's
Let me tell you, this is I then from there I used to go to the records company, to CBS,
right.
Warner Brothers. I used to go every week to each one. So I remember getting the Columbia copy of Honey Bee by Gloria Gaynor
Yeah,
at the CBS Columbia Records.
right.
I remember getting Earth, Wind and Fire. I got so many records
Yeah,
from going
yeah,
company by company by company
sure.
by company by company. I have a story.
Oh, you
Uh,
still have how many records you still have?
this is very important in my life. I was going to Miami Dade College. My car was broken, so I used to go every Thursday to visit different record companies. Uh, so I didn't have a car to go. So I told my friend, can you take me to go to the store, to the record companies? So he told me his car was broken too. So
Oh,
he talked to a girl who had a Volkswagen and asked her if she can take us. So the person who take us to, I told that girl, you take me and I'm going to give you a record because usually I get 3 or 4 copies of
right,
each record.
right.
So you take me to that, to take me to those, to go around and get records. That girl lately became my wife. We've been married for 40 something years.
What is your wife's name?
Martha.
Martha. My gratitude to Martha.
My
Martha,
wife
thank you. Yeah.
told me to get records.
So Martha became you. How long you been married, Humberto?
Yes, we got married in 1977. I was a digit at the mutiny in those days.
Yeah,
So we got
yeah,
married.
yeah. So yeah, the congratulations. That's quite of a yeah. That's a long time.
Very digit.
It's not easy to being married to a DJ. I mean, my respect to the ladies who are married to these jockeys for that long. I know a lot of DJs that dear friends of mine that had to stop their passion because obviously that responsibility came through. I mean, they had kids and so on. But some wives actually they got jealous because we the DJs had a lot of fun, and we were very popular, and so. Oh no! You got to leave the DJ. You're not a DJ. I mean, and come on. You have to, as a DJ, you have to be friendly and you have to say hello to people, hug people, kiss people, and so on and so forth. But anyways, that's another story. I can totally. But all of a sudden, you were doing this. Or you still how many records you have still? You didn't get rid
Yeah,
of all your records.
it's something like I can see in the back. I
Yeah,
have a warehouse. I don't have too many in my house because I have a warehouse. I have a construction company,
right,
and
right.
and I have a warehouse for my construction company, and I have a space over there where I have all my records because my wife doesn't want to see so many records here.
Yeah.
So
Let me tell you something. I have
she
a,
worked to do me to get records. Now she doesn't want
I
to.
never had that problem, but thank God for that. But I always respected that. So I've been in this house close to 20 years, and I converted my two-car garage into my studio, the L.O.V.
Yeah.
studio, and then I have my office in another area. But yeah, you have to have them. There is air condition here. You have to keep them in line.
Yeah.
You have to keep it. Some people put them like they're flat. That's the wrong ways to keep a record. You got to keep them nice and standing on, blah, blah, blah. I have them all in alphabetical order. So I spend lots of time. So I noticed that you have a great sound system in there in the back of you. You have your timbales.
Yeah.
I can see the Legends of Vinyl award that you were given to about what 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that, 1920,
Yeah.
something like that. Uh,
The first time you did it, the second time you did it in
the
Miami.
second time, right?
That
And
was our
yeah,
country.
and one of the board of directors, Bo Crane, he gave me the names of the people who I should, look forward to. And there are a lot of people in Miami that they're one on top of each other. And we wanted to pay the respect to those people. Unfortunately, we found a few, and then we approached, and then you came forward. And we are so happy to have you among us that the Legends of Vinyl is it pays respect to those who actually have the attitude that you have, because not everybody has an attitude. Not that many people have the decency and that you have. But anyways, this is a wonderful story that in 1970. Let's go to. So you were listening to Carlos Nodal. That's another gentleman
Yeah,
who
he came. He came. he came from New Jersey in 1974 to play in a club, discotheque, Shanghai Village in Miami Beach, and that's where he came to Miami from the first time. So we used to go. I mean, we used to go there, but on those days I wasn't playing any other place. There were only a few plays in 1973, 1974. So if one DJ was over there, the others were looking
I see.
for part times.
Right. Yeah.
I was going to school too.
My brother, you just said a mouthful of reality, as I call it, because ever since I found the DJ Hall of Fame, my God, everybody is a DJ. And everybody play at the same club and they all coming together. I'm saying it's impossible. It's like, I was there in 1969, 1970, and there, all of a sudden, there's 378,000 DJs that have played at that place. It's an impossibility. And then some of them were born in 1960, and they were playing in 1970. Hello? I mean, come on. Maybe we all bought records. When I was 9 years old, I was buying 45s, but that doesn't mean that I'm a DJ. I'm talking about being a professional disc jockey playing in a paid job in a club. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, you said something very interesting. I mean, in Miami there were
Carlos Nodal was the first DJ to use a speed control turntable. He got
the technique.
the first technique, yeah. So the first turntable with speed control, because when I play in the mix too, we had no speed control. So we had to push the record to make it
Which
faster and hold it with the finger.
what turntable did you work with for originally? What turntable do you use?
Macintosh, I think. I don't
Max
remember.
Macintosh?
Macintosh or
Well,
Torrens.
there were Thorns. Yeah, Thorns were the original.
The one with the big palanca. You used to move
Yeah.
it from 45 to 33 to 33 to
Yeah,
45.
those were radio station turntables. I worked with them as well. You had the little thing that you stopped for spinning. Then you let it go.
Yeah.
But I worked in clubs. But I'm talking about early days, Jesus. And they purchased those turntables like from radio stations that
Yeah,
they're
that you use in radio station. Yeah.
second, third, fourth hand, I guess. And this little thing was like so hard to use because they bought them cheap, so you had to deal with that, and you never used them. I developed calluses in my fingers because you had to stop the from spinning, and it was hard. It was a belt driven freaking
Yeah.
turntable. So, but anyways, and then in the middle of the night, remember the little belt will come off,
Yeah,
and then,
and with the 45, you put the 45,
well,
sometimes they jump, and then you have to put it back again. It was-
oh well, well, well. And now we can really reminisce and talk about this. But it was fun. It was a time, but that we definitely. I mean, I will never forget it. I mean, it's in my heart, and that nobody got nervous. Everybody was okay. We did our thing. We were having fun. You had a wonderful idea though. You actually, which I really admire of some people, you actually felt into going to school to become an architect, and some of us didn't. I mean, we you know, I just never went to do much of anything. I had enough money to open my own agency as an advertisement agency, but I never run it. My wife did, and but I made a lot of money as a DJ back in the mid 70s. I was one, playing, getting so many gigs, and so I never cared to go to work at an office. It wasn't in me to go to work in an office, but you went to and develop what? You have a construction company. Is that so? You still making
yeah,
a living on that?
actually, at my age, I'm still working hard.
Well,
And
why, Humberto? Why? I mean,
no,
construction.
because basically I like I am a very lucky person because everything I have done in my life, I like it. So I
Yes.
like when I was a DJ,
Very
I
important.
like to be a DJ.
Yeah.
So I like what I do. I really like what I do.
Yeah.
So
But
I
I
am a
see
control.
that that sound system there is there for a reason. Just because you're an architect. No, 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 no. Wait just a second. No, 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 no. You are a DJ at heart. Once a DJ, always a DJ. I mean, come on. Yeah, I will die. I mean, I'm getting closer to it, but I will,
Yeah,
I will die putting the needle on the record, my brother. I mean, come on.
last night I spent like hour and a half just putting music
Yeah,
around and playing around.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, what kind of music are you into now?
No, I belong to the record pool, a DJ record pool
Now,
online. And I
now,
get, yes, and I get all the new music because now I play music for my daughters, my son wife, or for
yeah.
my, all the young
So,
people.
so what
I,
you?
I do many parties. I not many parties, but I do many do parties for my family, some friends, and I
Yeah, yeah,
play.
yeah.
I don't like to go and play music from the 70s. I like to play music what is happening now. So
Is that EDM or is that house, soulful? Where are you?
most of the music that I can put people to dance. So
Yeah.
basically, I try to get people in the dance floor and play.
With a touch of disco, like the new disco that is being developed now,
Yeah,
is that?
no, some I play disco a lot too,
Yeah.
but I used to now now it's so easy to be a DJ because then you have all those remix and all those remix have those introductions, so you have you really can. It's so
So,
easy.
what do you think about those remixes? What do you think? I mean, do you think that they're done in good taste, or some of them are just uh,
Well, they help you to mix. It make very easy for the DJ to.
because now they have an intro and outro. Now they have an intro, because
Yeah,
back in those days, I mean, the vocals came in real quick, so you just have boom, 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 ah, whatever,
but I remember I was a DJ at the Mutiny, a Mutiny Club. We haven't get there yet to the Mutiny Club, but I was at the Mutiny from 1976 until 1982. I spent
Sweet, yeah,
6 years in one disco, one club.
yeah, yeah.
So I that was a different club that I had to put people in the dance floor because they were having dinner and the dinner finished
Yeah.
and then we would go slowly building into the
Let
heart
them
of the
do it.
night.
Yeah, the digestion go down, and then
So,
you can give it
I
to.
used to use I have to use all the music to bring the people to the dance floor and keep the people in the dance floor.
Uh,
In my system, I, for me, being a DJ is how to get the people from in the dance floor.
no, this absolutely. You have to always, and no matter where you go, you will be a DJ. You walk into a club or you walk anywhere and somebody's playing music. You have to know where the music is coming from, right? You have to search for who's playing that music. Where is the DJ?
Yeah, and
And
I
then,
see how, and I look to the face of everybody, and I start
yeah,
looking at the face to see how can I bring those people to dance,
yeah,
and then
exactly. Yeah, you become the critic. You also worked at the Widows McCoy in Coconut Grove, and you and also a good friend of mine. I don't care what anybody says. He's a great guy. Jimmy Yu, a guy who made history here in South Florida as well as in New York City. Not a real a wonderful guy. And so, what are those memories of the Widow McCoys?
yeah, Willow McCoy, it was a restaurant with a little dance floor in Coconut Grove, in the playhouse, in the playhouse building.
Yeah.
It was different place because they close at 1 o'clock, not like 8 like the others. So George mentioned, he was a great DJ. He's a lawyer now. So
Oh,
that's
he's a
another
lawyer now.
very good lawyer.
I have to
Very
get a
good
hold. Yeah, I have to get a hold of a lawyer. By the way, I need a lawyer
very
right
good
now.
lawyer. And
Oh, do I have a case? Oh God! But
so
in
so
yeah,
so he's a lawyer, and he used to be the DJ. He was the resident DJ.
yeah.
So I used to work on like 3 or 4 days a week. So sometimes he let me play on Fridays, stuff like that. But most of the day was like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and 16th.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah, I always thought that this Guido McCoy's was like a huge nightclub for some
no, no,
reason.
no,
No,
no, no.
no, it was
No.
just a small place. Okay,
It,
but
it,
listen,
it was big, but
yeah,
the dance floor was small.
yeah. But the thing is, so this really matters as long as you're playing
Yeah,
and you are comfortable there playing and you get what you're there for. And then after that, in Fort Lauderdale, you went to a place called the Fourth Dimension.
yes, that was in the summer of 1976.
Okay.
I remember because I remember clearly because that in that summer was the Summer Olympics.
The Summer
So
Olympics. Okay,
so
gotcha.
so
Okay.
it was that place. They opened that place to compete with Pete and Lane,
Another
another club,
nightclub.
another club in Fort Lauderdale, and this was a place that they used to play a band and the disc jockey in between.
I see.
So
I
I
see.
spent 3 or 4 months over there in the
I
summer.
I believe that because in Miami or in Florida, really generally,
Mm,
when you keep people, it's a tourist town. Really, it's not.
mm,
It's a tourist town, so you have people from pretty much everywhere, everywhere, from all over the world. And the band and the DJ really was attractive to a lot of this thing here because even in 1994, no, excuse me, 1996 when I just first moved and I opened a club of my own here. We had a band and then we I play as a DJ and I
mm,
was completely freaked out by the one because I was starting 9 o'clock. The band goes on, they do 4 sets, and I will kind of play in the middle. And all of a sudden, look at the time. It was 2 o'clock. It was time to close, and I'm going like, wait a minute, a DJ is just getting started, and I'm an after-hour DJ, Humberto. I'm an after 4 o'clock. I mean, I'm just beginning to get the people motivated and stuff. But it was just the nature of being where you are. So 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, people go out early and they go home early. What can you do, you know? But that is an amazing freaking story. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't tell you. Later year, a DJ friend of mine, I used to play open an upper deck in the Mutiny Club. Oh, the gentleman who went to Colombia, who
yes,
left you, and he sadly died. He was killed. He was killed in Colombia
yes, it was killing
while he
Colombia.
was visiting Colombia, huh?
Yes. It was from Colombia. We went to visit his grandmother, and the mutiny was a hotel, and they used to have a club on the third floor, on
Yeah,
on the second floor,
yeah.
and then they opened another club on the third floor. So
Oh,
when they opened that club on the third floor in 1976, Carlos, no Carlos Nodal, Carlos Pipa, we used to call him Carlos Pipa. He went to that was the first series over there. So he went to Colombia, so he asked me to work for him over there.
yeah.
And then he left and he never came back, sadly.
Isn't that crazy? And then you end up at a place called Honey for the Bears. Um, um, when he traveled to cover Honey for the Bears, that's the one that we're talking about. Honey for the Bears.
No,
Where
Honey
what?
for the Bears is another club in Discotheque in Coconut Grove that
Okay,
Carlos Nodal used to play over there. Carlos Nodal.
Carlos Loal, and then club Manage or Manage Manage.
Yes, in 1970, from 76, from December 76 until the middle of 1982, I was at the Mutiny full time. And I used to get other clubs like Manage. So I remember I got Carlos Nodal to play in Manage. Because that was after Hollywood for the Bear Cruise. So I got Carlos to play in Manage over there. That was
Manage.
my account.
Wow. And because obviously there is a reason for everything. Being a very talented disc jockey and an architect. In 1984, for me, in 1984 was the birth of MTV. The music was changing. Well, the 80s was crazy. 79, I couldn't realize what the hell was going on. I mean, everything was crazy. So you decided in 1984 to just call it quits, and you retired from the nightlife. That must have been very difficult to do. Tell me how you felt and what were those emotions that you to make that kind of drastic decision. I call it drastic.
Okay, the nightlife. I remember that song. I love the nightlife. But that nightlife really eat you because you start every night. I was going to school. Then I was married too. My daughter was born in 1981. So
Yeah.
that was that kind of life that you go out at night. Then you have to wake up in the morning. So in 1984, I was working on another club that I started from 1983 was Susan's in the Grove. That I was the DJ at Susan's in the Grove. Probably one of my best places because that place was big with a big dance floor, and I enjoyed those days over there.
Yeah.
But after I left night, I had a problem with some manager in Susan's. So after I left Susan's in the Grove, in September 1984, I have a very deep spiritual experience where I start following Jesus Christ and I start going to the church and my life changed completely. So I got out of the of the
Wow.
normal
Wow.
life in those days.
My respect to that. I mean, obviously.
So
Yeah.
basically, I keep working on my daytime work as an architect and in
Right.
construction, and then until later in the 90s that my daughter was in the school, and then I got involved in the fashion show. So I started putting mixed
Right. Right. Right.
music for the
Oh
fashion show.
wow. Yeah, no, that is unbelievable. So you are the co-founder of Nueva Vida Ministries,
Uh-huh,
prison ministries, and member of the Emmaus group
uh-huh.
at the church. However, you always find time to pursue a passion of DJing, and I will be for private events because once again, once a DJ, you can't leave that. You can't. You proved that to us right now. You still have that wonderful, and the invitation is still goes on as far as because I opened this video visual radio for all of us to enjoy, and if you ever feel that you want to participate, you know that I'm just a phone call away, Humberto.
Mhm.
You play, you have the camera, you only need an interface for what I can see in order for the music to come out 320, and then you can do your show. But that's just an invitation for somebody who I really respect and I appreciate what you have done. Tell me or tell your friends and people who just getting to meet you, um, what what are the one thing that comes to mind in you within you that you want to tell the world that you want people to remember you by?
I tell you, I enjoy my life really, every moment of my life because every moment in life have a meaning. When you pass through bad moments, that that experience help you in when you in other moments. So really, I enjoy my life and I did I did what I like. I play drums that I like. I was a DJ that I love. and I love my construction.
No
Work,
regrets. No regrets.
so no regret
You
to
did it
that.
like like Frank Sinatra said. I did it my way, right?
You come to life for a purpose, and I think I follow.
Yeah.
I, I, I
And
hope I can speak more better English. And
no, 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 no. I totally understand. I'm sure the whole world understands that. But you are leaving a legacy that is secure, that is respected, and that we all appreciate. And I just want you to know that there is a reason why we did what we did. We needed. There are a lot of DJs that have opportunities to be in books and documentaries and stuff like that. Yes, I have that opportunity, but I think that your legacy is secure, and you can be proud of what you have done, Humberto. You can be proud, and you're a father, you are a husband, you have a wonderful business, you have done so much, and we admire that. We definitely admire people that have done the right thing. Okay, so a lot of our friends are gone. A lot of our friends are gone too soon, and we remember them fondly with much love. And I wish I would have the opportunity to speak to so many of them prior to But timing is the way it is right now. You know, right now I'm just kind of happy that I got the opportunity to speak with you. You have a group called The Beginning of Disco on
Yes.
Facebook. I love that page. You have a lot of good friends and a lot of people who visit that group. You created that group on Facebook how many years ago?
In 2014, 13 or 14,
Okay. Yeah,
I, I tell you, I was watching different, I was looking to different posts in Facebook, and I was trying to look for, I see people posting disco music, but I
right.
didn't see anybody posting all those old records from the early 70s. So I think,
Exactly.
oh my God, nobody, no,
No,
nobody's
but
posting.
the
So,
thing
so I
is,
have to open a book, a page, so I can post those records from 1971, 72, 73,
yeah.
74. That was my idea.
Uh
No,
huh.
I wasn't thinking about 77, 78, 79. I
Yeah.
was thinking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Don't Bring Back Memories, Day with the Rain, Virabundo.
Vida Mundo, Sergio Mendes, Brazil 70s. Oh my God.
I like what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Everyday people.
Yeah.
That's what I had in
But
mind.
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something because see, we are on the same page here, and I wanted to do the same thing. I was doing the same, and I created, the official DJ holiday because I actually created that, and I had a whole bunch of disc jockeys, friends of mine, put their signature there, and we sent it out to the government or whatever the heck that went to. And there is an actual DJ holiday based upon my freaking idea. So we did that. Everything I do is it has to be right. So I wanted to always, but a lot of people they just, I mean, you put a song like Diana Ross Surrender, surrender your love. Remember that song? Okay,
Yes,
they don't know it. I mean,
no, no,
one
no.
night
Everybody
affair.
likes.
You mentioned one night affair. You think anybody? I mean, that many people? There's just a handful of people that remember.
You get a few when you post something like I found love. Now
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I
yeah, 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 yeah.
love and kiss, then you have so many likes. But that's the way
Right.
it is. It's like playing
Yeah.
like a DJ. You play a record, nobody likes, nobody dance, and then you play
No,
it.
yeah, but
So many
our generation is also, getting to a time that we have to actually understand that not everybody's going to remember those wonderful songs. It's like when I was a kid and my mother used to, I mean, she used to talk to me about Mario Lanza, about the standards, all these wonderful, now that I love, really. But when you're a kid, you really go like, ah, come on, no, man, and that's not gonna happen. I mean, so now it's all relative. It's really the way it is. But one thing that I know is that we need to keep pushing the history,
Hmm.
the history as how this culture, our culture, was created, whether it was in New York or whether it was down here in Florida, and or whatever, and in any part of the United States, because the United States was the place that, I'm sorry to use this, how can I say, ground zero word. I mean, I have to call it a place who initiated everything, and the world follow. That is just the way it is. Okay, nobody can take that away. So we created that culture. And now look at it. When I went to Europe, I couldn't believe my ears. I couldn't believe my eyes to see thousands of people that they're embracing what we have created. And we dropped everything. We dropped vinyl. We dropped it because of CDs. We dropped everything. We dropped a lot of things. We just could. I can understand that. And if you go to England or Germany or anywhere else, vinyl is still king. People are still playing vinyl, and there is a reason for that. Why are we doing? But it is what it is. That's where the world goes around. But anyways, Humberto, this is magnificent. I just enjoy talking to somebody who actually understands what we're talking about. So I'm gonna give you the last word to for you to tell the world what do you think about the future. What do you think about the future of our industry?
No, I want to thank all those people who have been changing in a way to make it more easy for the DJ, because
Mm.
every every day
Very good.
it's easier to be a DJ, and I love to listen to all those young DJs,
Yeah.
all the things that they do, and music will live forever. So
Well,
music
yeah.
will be live. I remember when I used to, people used to tell me, no, the disco will die. Disco, the dance music is like a
Well,
disco,
dance
and
music. Yeah.
yeah, that's music, and so many dance music now. It's like a nice sound
Well, because in the beginning it was just dance music. There was no disco. In the beginning it was just dance music, and it was no mixing. It was
yeah,
sleep cueing and changes, as we would call it. There was no mixing because there was never about the mix.
yeah.
Never. It was never the intention to mix. It was the presentation of a song.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a crowd, you played the song, you saw the crowd, you studied, and you knew your crowd, you know that the next song, whether it matched this one here or not, you needed to play it. That is
Mm-hmm.
just a change. It's called a change. It was not a mix until later, that it was beat matched and by my brother Paul Casella, who created the beat matching, and I respect that. But to this day, I continue to prove to people, and continue to tell if the song matches. I mean, a song makes sense, and you have an audience. It doesn't have to match. Put it on. Don't you agree? I mean, that's just the way it should be. But my friend is getting there, and I have to cut there for a little bit because I have to do something for the Legends of Vinyl audience. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the L.O.V. Legacy Hour chat, and my guest today is the great Humberto Fleites, and I can't thank him enough. But I wanted to remind everybody that we are creating right now our retail store, and we have right now it will go on soon enough. We have the hats in blue, in black. If you want to get it, one size fit all. LOV is right there, as you can see them, the beautiful hats. So please stay tuned for that. We have the original Legends of Vinyl in black T-shirts and the Legends of Vinyl in white T-shirts. Now, we have mouse pads with the Legends of Vinyl on it. We have coffee mugs. We have coffee mugs here. Here you go. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I feel like Vanna White. We have business cards. If you want to get business cards, call us. We'll do the business cards for you with the Legends of Vinyl, obviously, there because we need to be proud of who we are. Also, the membership card is extremely important on annually $25. It helps us to go and continue to bring you shows like the one you're watching right now and the Legends of Vinyl organization. And what just came in today, and it was supposed to come next week, is what every DJ really needs. It's only 12 inches by 36. The banner! The freaking banner! Look at that! Look at that banner. You can put it behind you as you're playing. Look at that. The originators, the innovators, the risk takers, the pioneers, and still making history. 12 by 36 vinyl over here. So you can please purchase these items. And don't forget that every month now we have Seven Heaven, and we are definitely enjoying the Paradise Garage and the Loft music with the talent of Douglas Sherman and Joey Llanos from the Paradise Garage. And don't forget that we definitely will be in New York next September for the 2021. Don't. I'm having a senior moment here. It's called the DJ Hall of Fame, DJ and Artist Hall of Fame. There's so much more to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, but thank you so much for listening. And Humberto, going back to you, I wish you nothing but success because you're being a successful. You know nothing but success. And I wish you the best to you, the family, for you and the family. And please be safe because we're going through summer. We're all in the same boat. And I want you to know that I really appreciate the giving me this hour to speak with you. And I can't wait to see you. Maybe one of these days once all of this crazy shit stops. But right? So thank you, Humberto.
Okay.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you. And ladies and gentlemen, as I always end my shows with just one thing for you to remember. L.O.V. is the message.